Hello, everyone. This is Kevin, your entrepreneur, and there's not going to be an advice today, but I'm going to talk about a Uber story. I'm going to talk about something that just ticked me off, and maybe this will be a cautionary tale to passengers out there. But here's something you should take away from this video, or most videos, or any video about the ride-sharing business. Don't try to screw the Uber driver. Don't try to do it. We have way more power than you realize sometimes. What am I talking about? Well, here's what I'm talking about. So, I was driving on Saturday, and I was in an area that I don't usually go to drive. In fact, I avoid the area if possible because it's just not a very good area to drive. I don't like driving it. But someone wanted to go there, so I dropped them off there. Was going to turn off the app until I realized it was surging high, like really high. It was surging 3.2. And I got a call for an Uber pool. And this is normally why I don't go to that area. However, on a 3.2 surge, even an Uber pools can be pretty profitable. So I accept it. Well, they cancel. Then I get another ping. This time it's a 3.5 surge. I accept. They cancel right away. Then I get another call. It's a 3.7. I accept. They cancel right away. Then I get a 3.8. Like this all happens within like 3 or 4 minutes. This one does not cancel. So I go and I go to the location and I park and I wait. And it's not a logical location for someone to go be picked up. But I went there. It was where it was pinged on the map. And after a couple minutes, I did something that I rarely do. I called them because I almost never call people. But on a 3.8 surge, I'm willing to be a little bit more flexible. Well, they said, oh, we're in front of the so-and-so bar on 2nd Street. Now, this is nowhere near where the location is, but 2nd Street is also just a couple minutes away. It's just a couple blocks away, so it's not... I don't know how they had got it so far off, but it's like, okay, I'll go to you. Well, I found out why it was so far off. It's because they were trying to screw me. And this is actually a very common scam in the Uber business. What they were doing is they were dropping the pin off at a place that they knew they weren't going to be. And I called and but they knew they wouldn't be far enough that I would probably not cancel on them. I'd probably just go. So once they got me on the phone and they knew that I was on my way for reals this time, they paid attention to me on the app. Now they put me at this place because they knew that to get there I would have to go. I'd have to go up. I'd have to make a left. And to get to the bar, I would have to go to the light and make a U-turn. Well, they could keep an eye out for me on the app. So they were tracking me. And once they saw that I was across the street, they canceled the ride. And then 2 or 3 seconds later, I got a call from someone else. But it was at that same location. Well, I figured something was probably up. So I pressed the button to lock the door. And I made a U-turn. And I pulled up and there were 3 people. They were just waiting for me. Like, there he is. And guy walks up and I rolled down the window a little bit. And I asked the guy, "Are you David?" And his name was not David, by the way. I'm changing the names. And he's like, "Yes, I'm David." Now, David was the guy who had put me at the wrong location, who just canceled on me. Now, why would they do this? Well, because when his girlfriend, April, resummoned me, the surge was down to a 1.6. It was significantly less money now. And I knew what they were trying to do. They were luring me away. They wanted a ride, but they didn't want to pay the surge. So they put me at a place where they knew that once I called them, they could track me. And once I was close, they would cancel and then they would summon right away because I'd be right there. So I would be the closest person and the surge would be lower. That's what they decided to do. Well, I don't play that game. I knew what they were doing. I figured it out like instantly what was going on, because why would you cancel when you knew the person was on his way and he was like right there? And he tried to open the door and he said, "Dude, are you going to open the door?" And I said, "No, I just wanted to tell you not to screw the Uber driver. You canceled on a high surge for me, you played this out. I am not picking you up. You guys can walk home now. And I drove off while he's boom, 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 hitting my window to try to get me to turn around like I'm actually going to do that. And you know what? That pissed me off. And here's the funny thing. Once I left and canceled, the surge was back up to a 3.5. And someone else called me, someone who was like a mile down. They didn't cancel on me. Now, they were only going like 5 miles, but that 5 miles was like $17. That's how big of a difference that surge can make. So, so what did that accomplish? Well, it didn't accomplish a whole lot. First of all, they didn't get their ride. Now, yes, they could call another ride, but they ended up paying a cancellation fee for that first ride because it was more than 5 minutes after they'd canceled. Now, in their minds, paying $4 on a cancellation fee and a 1.6 surge is still a heck of a lot cheaper than paying for a 3.8 surge wherever they were going. And they were probably not super local either. They probably weren't, not going to lie. They were probably going to feel it, so they felt it was a big enough difference that it was worth paying a cancellation fee just to avoid the surge. But folks, we don't play that game. We don't have to pick you up. And when you do something that's that obvious, that, oh my gosh, that it's that obvious that you're trying to rip us off, we're not going to do it. Now, the difference is most of the time, we don't tell the people off. Most drivers just don't. I am in a particularly bad mood. I am having a very, very rough month. Rough end of the year, really. Fighting depression. I just finally convinced myself to get out of the room to do one of these videos with my normal entrepreneur backdrop. And look, I even put Christmas lights up, so I'm trying. But that does not give you the right to piss me off. It does not give you the right to try to screw me out of a fare that is mine, and it should be mine. I didn't lose any sleep by leaving those people behind. We will never lose sleep leaving you behind. If you're trying to rip us off, we don't feel bad for you. Never have. Never will. I mean, it's just part of the territory. My saying is, never underestimate people's determination to be cheap. This is a perfect example of someone who was super determined to be cheap, but it didn't work. And now, what they might have had to do, they might have tried this thing again. Now, I don't know how many times they're going to try it, but the thing is, most Uber drivers who've been doing this for a fair amount of time are going to pick up on it. However, this must have worked for them before, or maybe they're just trying it for the first time, but it seems like they had done it before. So they thought it was going to work, and it didn't work. Now, if they did try to do this again, I'm hoping that one more driver told them off, because at that point, they have now paid 2 cancellation fees, and they're still not home. And soon, paying the 3.8 surge, it's just going to make sense. And guys, I hate to tell you this, but the surge is needed. So it really is. I know you don't like paying for it. It's not going away. Once in a while, you're going to get hit with a surge. You don't want to pay it? Wait it out. Don't pull these games. Do not pull these games with us. We will catch on, and you will not get your ride. And you will pay a cancellation fee. And in fact, if I were to be honest, I could have even hurt them a little bit more by simply driving around the back of the bar, waiting 3 more minutes, and canceling again. And then they would have paid 2 cancellation fees. I didn't do that. I canceled right in the spot, and I don't think they got charged anything for that second cancellation. And that second cancellation, the ride, it strung me up for 20 seconds, I think. So it's 20, 30 seconds. So it's not like I'm going to worry about it too much. But yeah, so that is just one of the many ways people will try to screw you out of paying a surge. Don't let them get away with it. Don't let them get away with it. It's not right. Don't accept it. And for all you customers out there who are thinking of doing this, it's not going to work out well for you. It really will not. I mean, the more people learn about how Uber works, like, you act as if we don't see scams. We see scams all the time. We see people trying to rip us off all the time. From the basic, hey, I'll give you $20 if you turn the app off, which makes no sense whatsoever. We're not going to believe you because it costs so much less to pay through the app than it does to give me $20. I don't believe you for a second. Well, this. So, boy, those people made me upset. Well, okay. Anyway, what about you? Do you have any passengers trying to rip you off stories that you want to share? I would like to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. I just moved the table. I gotta try not to do that. And as always, play responsibly. Have a good one.